My favorite game was the one where the robbers slip into the palace at dead of night and kidnap the princess of the snowy mountains to become a prisoner in their cave. Until the prince rescues her. How I wanted to be princess. But being 4 was always the youngest robber, the one who carries the rope, and once the princess is tied up, has nothing left to do. Young girls often dream about the one day when their Prince Charming will arrive and sweep them off of their feet. However, in some traditions, the prince is not so charming. Through experiencing the journey of a young girl in India, the truth of what was thought to be a happily ever after is revealed in Black Candle, Poems about Women from India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, by Chitra, Banerjee, Divakaruni. The boy who was prince had a silver sword his father bought him at the fair. His eyes were black lights. When he passed me, my heart leaped like a red fish in my throat. We never spoke. And I begged and begged until they let me be princess just once. I laid on the cool cement floor of the pantry, waiting for the prince to roll away the rock that stopped the cave mouth. When I was 4, the prince never came. The prince comes at age 16. He sent word through the matchmaker. My parents were delighted. An officer at Delhi and a small-town girl, not even out of college. They sold the village home for a grand wedding. All the relatives came. My wedding night was airless still, as before a storm. The canopy gleamed, color of long life, color of many children, color of bride blood. A long conch flash for the groom's party, men in dhotis white as ice. My mother runs to them with piled garlands from which the acrid smell of marigolds rise. The priests confer, arrange wood and incense for the wedding fire. Uncles and brothers carry me in, face hidden under an edge of scarlet silk, trembling under the wedding jewels. Now it is time. Time for mother to raise her tear-stained face, which I will learn so well, and time for me, bride of 16, to look for the first time into my husband's opaque eyes. I walked with him 7 times around the fire while wedding guests threw flowers. Fire, too, his eyes, his touch, his breath whispered of fire, and my sari spilled on the floor that volcano night, red gashed, a tide of lava. On honeymoon at the Taj Mahal, he asked me to dance. As I swayed, arms raised in the love dance of Radha, he turned me to him, wound my braid around my throat. From now on, you dance only for me. His lips kissed shut, the surprise in my eyes. Each morning, leaving for work, he locked me in. All day I walked the large house, room by room by room. Evenings, he brought gifts, a new sari, perfume, made me wear them to bed. My parents asked us to visit. As we walked through the gate of my childhood home, the door was flung open by Reba, our maid, calling us to come in, quick, Mama Rey hai! Mother was dying. The bed was full of blood. So much blood. She laid there, dying, trapped like a blind fish in that black tidal cave. Blood from her fractured skull where father had flung her against the stair wall, the crack of bone, the heavy thud of falling flesh, end over end, into spiral dark. They tell me no one heard her scream. I hear her. Again and again. The scream ricochets off the moist, heaving walls, where with tied wrists I swim feebly against the pull of the black tide, insidious currents sucking me under like the metallic smell of her blood. The burning breath of my husband on me. Nights, I dreamed escape, my body swinging limp-necked on a rope hanging from a huge hook in the ceiling. When I woke, the ceiling stretched above me, endless, always empty. When he found me throwing up mornings, he laughed and crushed me to his chest. Now my mark's on you, in you, bearing my name. He filled my nightstand with vitamins, took me to the best doctors, let me sleep alone. My belly rounded, pulsed in a silver haze. Days and nights spun away until he flung the test results on my face. This isn't my child. No one in my family fathered girl children ever. Tell me who you slept with. Who? He left me on the floor. The crack ricocheted a long time in my skull. That night, the tonic he gave me tasted strange. I woke retching, doubled with cramps. Pain jabbed at my belly like broken glass. Poison, I thought, then felt the blood, its thin, sticky flow. He watched from the door, eyes like dead moons. Next day, he sent my father a regret telegram. When his sleeping breath rasped the dark, I stole to his bedroom door, bolted it from outside, poured the cooking kerosene. From my wedding trunk, I shook out my dance costume. Gold anklets, red silk. The flames took the curtains and chairs and moved their mouths along the carpet. I began the natraj, dance for the world's burning end. My right foot balances on a wheel of fire. I swing the left across the trembling air. My palm holds up the sky which will fall when I turn my wrist. The drums die away. In the black quiet, only the flames. Blood streaked, they whisper to me in my mother's voice. Always, in my mother's voice.